Hello everyone, my name is Matthew Alexander and this is my interviewee here at Alexis Spate, and this is my week 4 interview for Speech 100. The purpose of the interview is to get an audience member perspective based on comedy and writer's contribution to see if it takes away any of the authenticity that helps a comedian perform, act, or even portray a role. So let's get straight into it. Who are some of your favorite comedians out now?
I would have to say some of my favorite comedians are Kevin Hart, Marlon Wayans, Will Ferrell, and Adam Sandler.
What are some of the movie roles that resonated with you that they have played in?
Kevin Hart just played in Wedding Ringer. David Chappelle does the Chappelle Show. Adam Sandler, Click. He has a few movies that I can laugh all day about. And then Marlon Wayans, he plays in all the scary movies.
Is there anything specific that made you connect with some of their material?
Their humor. Adam Sandler, he keeps it family friendly. When he played in Grown Ups, he had me laughing the whole entire time.
Kind of like lightheartedness.
Lightheartedness, exactly. I guess he keeps us going even as adults. We forget that we used to be kids at one point.
Do you think that comedians using current life events in their material make it more relatable and entertaining?
Yes, I do. Kevin Hart, he always uses short man complex, and a lot of men out here are short, and they don't find it funny as much as he jokes about it, but he takes a serious term, and he makes it into a joke, which makes it easier to talk about.
Did you know that most TV shows and comedy performances have some form of writer's contribution?
I do know that David Chappelle, his Chappelle Show was a whole skit in itself, and there was writers, of course, on there just showing the different skits they played or different performance they did, and I think it's what makes the show.
What level of contribution, small or large, to writing and comedy would be considered too much if there were any?
I don't think there's any. I guess I don't really feel that there's any contribution that's too large, just because it's a performance. Actors act, artists perform, so regardless of whatever side of the spectrum you're on, you will want to see that portrayed. You will want to see that person come out, and of course you want to see it in their own form, but you want to see it as well as it's written too. I doubt any of Shakespeare's artists was like, I don't want to play this role. They did.
Does the writing take away from how you view the shows or even the stand-up performances?
No, of course not. I feel that it helps them create their characters. It helps them build on a specific scene, or just it helps them build their ratings. It helps them get paid.
There was a statement made by veteran comedian Aries Spears saying that having writers contribute past a certain extent during a stand-up comedy show is like being on steroids in sports.
Could you elaborate?
For example, Kevin Hart, who has started doing 2 to 3 movies per year recently, has appeared in successful TV shows and done solo stand-up performances. There is no possible way one person can make up that much original and authentic material without massive help. What is your take on the statement made by Aries Spears?
I feel that's a difficult one. I think, in my opinion, it's a personal preference. Of course, he's a performer, so he would need people behind him every step of the way, whether they're making up jokes about his personal life or just for him to use. But just listening to some of Kevin Hart's, I guess, performance, comedian shows, different movies he's done, he's always portrayed a role as who he is. I don't think he kind of changes. Like, he doesn't have like an on and off button. Like, 1 minute he's Kevin Hart, 1 minute he's a different person. Even as in his performances, when it comes to comedian-wise, I don't think that the writers are taking away from who he is as a person. I think it's still showing his everyday lifestyle.
Can you even look deeper past the writing input and say that it's more like to performance, delivery, and flow of content watching from the audience's standpoint?
Yes, it definitely is. I feel that just a performance itself just creates the role, like I said before. I couldn't imagine just watching a dull performance or just looking at a movie and there's nothing, no interaction, no creativity.
Would it take away from a comedian if he came out and said, I have writers who write my jokes? Is this still his perspective or truthfulness?
Yes, of course. I feel that whether you're a comedian or a book writer, a movie star, you're going to have someone, like I said, in the background that does it for you. A bibliography is created by someone else, but it's a portrayal of another person's life. So if somebody's writing his jokes, good on them.
I definitely want to thank you, Ms. Alexa Spate, for participating in this interview, and I want to thank you all for watching and joining. And don't be afraid to